To my 2025 planning live. I am going to be filling out my 2025 bullet journal and getting it set up and hopefully teach you some things about bullet journaling that I've learned over the last 8 years doing this. This has honestly changed my life and the way I'm able to get things done, not only at home but at work. And the bullet journal planning method truly is incredible if you have ADHD or if you just struggle with things like executive dysfunction or regular planners that are quite boring. So let's get into this. I've already outlined some of the things that I want to do, but feel free to do your own thing and experiment with different styles and layouts and pens and colors. Or if you just have a notebook and a pen, you can get started with this on your own. So this is the layout I have learned to like over the years of doing this, mostly because it's helpful to have things like birthdays listed out in a large calendar view or upcoming holiday trips, big things that you know are like staples. That helps having a big starting view like this. If you are brand new to bullet journaling and you have no idea what I am talking about at this point, don't worry. Please ask me questions. I can slow down if you need more guidance. But if you are familiar, you know that you probably start with a large view of the whole year. Now, I'll show you how this kind of breaks down as we go through. And let me know if you're having a hard time seeing the pencil markings, because I know they're very faint. But at the beginning of your bullet journal, you're going to have different larger events to track. So this is going to be your guide for the full year. And then when you get to the individual months, it will break down by actual month. So as you can see here, this is where my January starts. And I'll have a January overview page, which will have the entire month. And then I actually do a weekly page after that. So each week gets its own page once we get into the actual journaling part. But we're going to start with the overview because setting up this main part is one of the ways that gets me invested and excited about the new year. It gets me thinking about my goals. It gets me kind of planning how I want the year to go. Hi, Susie. And that really is the trick of bullet journaling. It makes you more invested in the plans that you're making and using the journal, because I don't know about you, regular planners and journals, I never really used them past like the first couple months of the year. They got boring. I stopped using them. I stopped writing in them. I stopped looking at them. This actually keeps me coming back to it. And what the bullet journaling method is designed to do is set that goal every week to draw out the new week so that you're looking at everything on a more consistent basis. I'm going to start over here. I think the hardest thing about starting bullet journaling is getting over this perfection of wanting everything to look perfect. And as you can see here, I'm using a pen. Worrying about messing things up and it not looking good. That has to be one of the biggest hurdles I hear from a lot of people, is they want these really pretty cute designs and they feel like if they made a wrong mark on a part of the page, they've messed up the whole thing and they want to throw out the entire journal, which that is not true. The whole point of this is to be handmade, and practice makes perfect. So yes, can you worry about all the little details and think that you're not a good enough drawer yet to write this out? You don't like your handwriting. You don't think it'll look pretty enough. All of those things are real and valid, but they shouldn't hold you back from doing it, because the only way to get better and get over those things is to start doing it. Truly. See, I'm already like figuring out where my dots go. I messed this one up a little bit. It's okay. Spacing things out with all these little dots is easier, which is why I like to use a dot grid journal, but you can use a line grid journal, all the same. There is a whole book, I forget the author that wrote it. I think I have it tagged in the description down below, but he, I believe, was a psychologist. I don't remember. I'm gonna get the story so wrong. But he developed this method when he realized that normal calendars didn't really work for him. And the way he was like pushing tasks off to the next day, there was no like space to make sure in his regular calendar that those things were getting done, or like they were partially done, or that we needed to migrate them to the new day, or how long they've been on his task list. So he wanted to see kind of like the prioritization of the tasks that he was doing and how long something got kind of kicked down the road. This is the more tedious part, setting up the calendar overview with, oh, my chat went away. Every single day of the year, you're gonna write out all those numbers for every single month. But it's worth it, trust me. And it's so fun and like relaxing to kind of just sit here and work on this. Especially right now with this weird in-between holiday week. I don't have work for a couple more days. New Year's isn't for a couple more days. And then we have to like jump back into the work week in the middle of the week next week. This is just kind of a nice segue into thinking about the new year without it being super stressful all at once. I'm a big goals-oriented person and a big planning person. Everything I do is just, I have to have a plan, I have to have an execution for it, I have to strategize. That is my life, that is my job, that's how my wedding went. And if you are like that, I'm pretty sure you will also enjoy bullet journaling. It also helps with that creative aspect, kind of like you see something on Pinterest, you get inspired by it, you get to go draw. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it's a nice little outlet. It's quick enough that it doesn't consume all of your time, but it feels productive. So it's one of those tasks that isn't like, oh, I'm not getting anything done doing this. You're literally planning your week. Oh, did I run out of space here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, not barely. I have gotten a lot of people into bullet journaling as well. Grant does it now. I've gotten a few friends into it. We would have little parties and set up our bullet journals together, which is kind of what we're doing here today. And there's so many different ways to set up your journal, which is the super fun part, because if you Google bullet journal inspiration on Pinterest, let me tell you, you will get overwhelmed, okay? But there are so many cute ideas and fun little ways to add whimsical parts to your daily monotonous tasks. Usually at the front of my, here, let me see if I can show you. Oh yeah. So this page right here is what's called a tracker. And these are the different ways you can customize the start of your year. and your journal to kind of set yourself up throughout the year for success. And what I really like about this is I usually do my goals into trackers. So date nights, I track how many date nights we go on just to make sure that, we're making sure that we're taking time for our relationship and we are planning things and not letting that slip. I do a book log to track the books that I've read throughout the year. I actually am skipping that this year because I bought a whole other journal just for book logs so I can keep more detailed notes of the books that I've read and have it kind of ongoing. So I fill up the whole thing. And then I do a workout log. So that's what this one is going to be here. I know you can't really tell right now because it's a little chaotic, but this is going to be a habit tracker for the entire year of things that I need to clean on a routine basis, because I will clean the kitchen and forget how long it's been since I've cleaned the kitchen. And this will help me track, oh, I cleaned it last month, or oh, I cleaned it 2 months ago. Like it's time to clean it, kind of thing. So that's what this one is really going to help with. And that is what this whole method is designed to do, is just help you keep track of things better. Birthdays is a big one for me because Facebook doesn't really notify you anymore. It's not as helpful. Definitely want to keep track of friends' birthdays, family's birthdays, make sure that I am not missing not only saying happy birthday, but having time to buy people presents and make plans around birthdays. I keep losing my chat. Okay, now that we have that, I need to figure out what day the first starts on. I'm going to pull my calendar up here. January 1st starts on Wednesday. So if I go here, I do a 1, and now I just do the rest of the month. How many days are in January? 31? 31. And don't worry, if you can't write super teeny tiny like this, you can make this bigger and expand it into 6 and 6 so that you can leave room for more bigger numbers. I'm just used to writing super teeny tiny now, and I like it. Which one is Saturday? See, I already messed up here. It's okay. Okay, now double check. Are we in a leap year next year? No, we are not. So March 1st starts on Saturday as well. That's right. And March has 31 days and it ends on a Monday. April starts on a Tuesday. May starts on a Thursday. And of course I need to double check. May has 31. And June 1st is a Sunday. And July 1st is a Tuesday. August 1st is a Friday. See, look at that. We're almost done with this page. Oh, numbers got a little squished in there. Oh, August also has 31 days. I think I messed that up. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. September starts on a Monday. Okay. Did I put 2? 28th is Monday. Okay. Squish those too much. September's is all kinds of messed up over here. That's okay. October starts on a Wednesday. Ooh, Friday. Thanks for being here, Susie. Halloween is on a Friday next year. See, this is what we love to see. And then Saturday is the start of November. And December. Wait, no, December starts on a Sunday? So how did I mess November up? Okay. December starts on the Sunday. And just like that, we have a whole page done. Now we're going to move on to this page where I'm going to just fill in the lines I previously did for where all my events are going to go. And this is where I track birthdays, holidays, upcoming travel plans, which we just booked our honeymoon, which we are super excited about. We're going to Ireland and Sweden. I do not regret waiting to go on our honeymoon at all because we were able to book it mostly on credit card points from the wedding. So that was pretty cool. Oops. I forgot this guy. And the cool part about using pencil first and then these pens is these dry down and then you can erase all of the other marks. So I like to go through and line everything in, and then afterwards I'll spend some time just going through and rubbing off all of the pencil marks. It just makes it look a little bit sharper, a little bit cleaner lines. What's really nice is, oops, being able to go back and look at, this is wrong. August, what are you doing down here? You're supposed to be way up here. Like previous years, all the memories. I know a lot of people that put pictures or use this as like a scrapbook as well. And I use mine as a journal. And each week I have like my journaling notes, what we did, what I was feeling, you know, things going on in your life. And it really is cool to look back and see like Okay, what was going on that week? Why was I stressed? What were we doing? Kind of like the full data of your week. Was I getting enough sleep? Was I eating enough? Was I drinking enough water? Like, did we stay up late a bunch? Those things are what you start to see with consistent bullet journaling, and it really does have a huge impact on your well-being. So for my date night tracker, I like to put the date of the actual date that we went on and then what we did. So we can get a brief description of like, did we go ice skating? Did we stay at home and have a movie night? Just kind of little reminders of like the dates that we're doing. It's also helpful for when we're like, what do we do for date night? We can look back at this and see like, oh yeah, that was fun. We should do that again. Or like, oh no, I definitely don't want to do that one ever again kind of thing. So having a page for inspiration and also just like making little memory, you know, making sure we're doing it and then also having the memory beside it. This is a new page I'm adding this year based on a nutritional research study that I did that talks about the different things that we need for our overall health and brain development to maintain like a balanced diet, which is something I really struggle with, remembering all the things that we need to eat on a daily basis. So I have here my kind of like reminder page of what fits into each category so that I can make sure I've eaten that on a daily basis when I am planning out menus and meals and going to the grocery store. So you're supposed to eat like from one of these categories a day. That's kind of like the base rule. There's, you know, percentages that you need and obviously like more detail than just this, but this is a helpful reminder for me to understand at a high level, like, oh yeah, I need a snack. I can go eat an apple to get my fiber in, kind of thing. Which, did you know that the skin of an apple is actually a really good source of fiber? Where did we go there? We lost the dots. Oh, I think I was intending to make these rounded corners when I was first. Okay, we'll do this one a rounded corner. This year, I really want to focus on eating healthy, building healthy habits, focusing on my career, focusing on my YouTube channel, which I do have some pretty fun secrets. That's what's hidden on this page over here that I'm not going to show you yet. Big plans for this year. Oop. Okay, let's go protein, probiotic, I really wanted to put this in a page that was a little more preserved, if you will, because I've been keeping it in this notebook and flipping back to it a lot, and it's not going to hold up forever. And I also use the notebook and turn the pages. So here is the full list of what I'm going to put on here. So for protein, we have, I'll make a little dot, lima beans, green peas, which green peas actually have so many good nutrients in them that we need for so many different things, and I have been trying to incorporate them into our diet more often. That and beans. Those are the two things we don't really eat enough. Spinach. Bean sprouts. Broccoli. Kale. This is also a good list for me of what I want to plant in the garden, so super helpful. This list came from a psychology magazine that I am reading. So these are the things that are, again, for brain health and overall health and wellness, but I've been on this big like kick to make sure that we're like giving our like the microbiome in our gut and making healthy like brain activity. Oh, see, maybe I need to eat more protein because I can't even say what I'm trying to say. Preventing illnesses in the future when we get older. Thank you. That's where my brain was going. Quinoa, pork, obviously the meats, chicken. Okay, I'm not gonna put lamb, but I know it exists on the list. Probiotic, let's do yogurt. I want to not get into, I already do, but get a bigger habit of making my own yogurt. Kimchi, which I do eat on a pretty frequent basis, but not enough. Sourdough bread. I actually just fed my starter right before this so I can make some. Kefir. It's a good one to give to the pets too. Pickles, which surprised me. And miso, which I have started incorporating more into my diet. Where's my omega-3 category? This is the one I really kind of struggle with, because if I don't eat eggs in the morning, it's basically like everything else on this list I miss. So flaxseed, chia seed. I need to make more like yogurt puddings for the morning. Walnuts. Edamame. Canola oil, which was surprising. Eggs and fish, which we kind of eat fish a lot, but not really. It's usually only when we eat out. Okay, antioxidants. Everybody knows the blueberries. And the dark chocolate. That's the fun one. Pecans. Strawberries. Artichoke, which I absolutely love artichokes. Goji berries. Kale. Red cabbage. Beets. And spinach. My favorite thing is finding things that are in multiple categories and making sure that that's in our diet more often. So spinach, we eat spinach a lot. Okay, fiber. We have beans, of course, whole grain, berries, apples. This category is probably the most important to me because I feel like I never get enough fiber, and that's what leads to all of my intestinal issues. And there is actually studies that prove your gut health is tied to your brain health. Again, big on brain health this year. And then I'm actually going to pull out the sparkly markers that I have. This is the most fun part about bullet journaling, is all of the different pens. So the midliners here, which come in every color under the rainbow. This is where it becomes an obsession. The midliners are the best like highlighter pens. The Micron, these also come in a bunch of different colors for lining things, and then of course glitter pens and gel pens. Oh, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna erase this first because erasing over gel doesn't work as much. Where is my eraser? Oh gosh. There it is. And then you can see how well this other pen dries down, and I can erase everything without it smudging. But then I get these everywhere. Okay, I'm gonna have to vacuum after this. Oh, where's that pen I was using? Was this one? Nope, this is the lighter one. The darker one. This one. Come on, pen. I've had these pens for so long. Okay, let's try blue. Let that dry a little bit. Maybe I'll draw a little broccoli up here in the corner. Oh, is this pen the one that doesn't work? Let's grab the one that doesn't work, of course. What does broccoli look like? Give me a broccoli. Oh, this pen works, okay. I'm gonna like assume that broccoli is just like green clouds. That's how we draw broccoli, right? And then a stem. It's broccoli, trust me. All right. Look at that. Now we have 4 pages done of our started bullet journal, and we're ready to get into the habit tracking, which is probably my favorite thing of bullet journaling, because at the end of the year, it looks so freaking cool. And I am going to pull out something to draw sharper lines, because this part I want to be super straight. Oh, sewing tools. Okay, perfect. get, oh, there it is. So what I'm going to do here is, this is the start of each week. So this is every Monday throughout the year. So this is all the Mondays in January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, and then we'll continue on the other side. And then down this way, it will be a tracker of wash bed sheets, clean laundry. So I think I'm going to do it by room, making sure that I have like segmented each room, like wash the laundry, clean the laundry machine, like descale it, which is like a monthly thing. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm going to start with this part and go from there. Oh, this ruler's a bit long. Okay, maybe this quilting one won't work. This won't work. Oh, that didn't work. All right, let's just try to freehand it. The problem with freehanding it is I want to go across all of these lines. So they all have to be pretty straight. Ah! Okay. I would talk while I'm doing this, but I'm holding my breath. Whew, okay. January done. I'm actually going to get a thicker marker and mark my first line. Fill those in. And that is my bar for January. Okay, it looks like a little music note. That'll be cute. Moving on. I feel like I'm gonna have to put something in the middle here because that's gonna get, maybe I'll just do it a thicker line at the starts. Is that more distinct? So you can tell this is the gap space. I think that's better. It's subtle, but it's different enough. That's kind of why I like having different thicknesses of pens. This was a 0.5. This is a, I think this is a 1. Yeah, 0.1. So. This is most of setting up your bullet journal, is just drawing lines. But it's therapeutic. edge of my desk mag. I think I am going to do more accountability posts this year. So if you started bullet journaling, I will post my weekly updates and we can hold each other accountable for making sure that we not only fill out our bullet journals, but we are updating them throughout the week and making sure we're tracking what we want to track throughout the year. It is amazing how much more organized I feel when I use my bullet journal on a regular basis, and it becomes this like reference guide for ideas and thoughts and all those things that you don't know where to put them, or they're written on pieces of paper somewhere in 17 different places. That's what your bullet journal is for. And most of them come, I don't know if you can see this, with page numbers here. So you can actually create like a glossary as well. I think my most impactful uses of a bullet journal over the years have been my budget tracker. That one helped me pay down all of my debt. For our wedding, obviously, that one was big. All the ideas, all the thoughts, all of the dates that we needed to have things ready by, all in the bullet journal. Ooh, lines are getting a little crazy. Okay, we made it to August. Now I'm gonna block off this first cell for each of them down, so we have like a little marker for the start. Whoops, that one went too far. That's okay. That one did too. Whoops. If it really bothers you enough, whiteout is always an option. Okay. Where is my thin pen? We're going to go back and do the start of the week. 13, 20, 27, 3, 10, 17, 24, 3, 10, 17, 24, 31, 7, 14, 21, 28, 5, 12, 19, 26, 2, 9, 16, 23, 30, 7, 14, 21, 28, 4, 11, 18, 25. Okay. I guess I could go January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, and I will do November through December on this page later. I think I gotta really sit and think about what rooms, like I gotta write out everything and kind of brainstorm it a little bit more before I start marking things up. But I will show you once it's done if you would like to see it. We have been here for about an hour. Oh, Barb, you're sitting here setting up your bullet journal too? Yay! You're never without whiteout? Yeah, I definitely have used quite a lot of whiteout in previous journals. Now I don't care. I'm over it. If it's bad enough, I'll just scribble out the page and start over on another one. But yes, I will show you the updates to this once I have figured out what tasks I really want to track. Because the other thing about this is it's really easy to get overzealous with the things you want to track, and then it becomes so daunting to track all of the things that you never actually do any of them. So I really want to be thoughtful and intentional about what I'm tracking and not just writing it down just to have something there to fill in the gaps. That's been my goal, or that's been my working point over the last couple bullet journals, is to like not go too crazy on the things that I'm trying to do, because it always ends up in me not being able to like sustainably do them. Making plans to try to move stuff around, but need to make sure you don't overwhelm yourself. Yes, that is a big one. Overwhelming ourselves is so easy to do. And that's the other reason why I really like bullet journaling, because it gives me a space to kind of brain dump everything and work through it, so that when I do feel overwhelmed, I can write it all down, come back to it later, and then organize it. All right. This is my monthly overview, which I haven't written down the calendar portion yet. And as you can see, I tried something new this year. I did a little like tab. I don't know if I like it. I do not know if I like this. And I think I want to skip it completely and just do a regular. I don't know. I could turn this into something else. I could cut it shorter. Make like a little, well, I guess this page has to be this. Huh. I think we might move January over to this side and leave this page open for whatever I messed up. But I did want to get a sleep log going. So you can see I tried to do habits over here. I don't need that because I'm tracking weekly habits. On the other side, too many habits to track. I don't need to track all those habits. I'll have a weekly habit tracker for things that I want to keep up, like eating the vegetables that I was talking about previously and taking supplements, working out, things like that. The step-by-step accomplish small goals. Yes, being able to break things down into little bite-sized pieces to get something done is so huge, especially if you struggle with executive dysfunction. And as soon as you look at something you need to do, you think of 12 other things that have to be done before it, and it becomes paralyzing to be able to do the one thing. I totally feel that. Let's see here. How do I want to set up January? This is always a struggle for me because I never really use my monthly pages after I've done them, but I want to use them more. So I'm gonna draw it with pencil first because that's the safe method. We can always undo it. We're gonna do a sleep tracker, but I want to see how many hours I need to mark out. So I usually go to bed by like 9 or 10, which would mean 12 dots. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Give myself a little bit extra space. Yes, sometimes I don't get out of bed till 9. Don't judge me. But that's why I want to track this, to kind of see how my regulation is going with the comparison to sleep. Everything's about data, right? So we'll give it a bar here. Then we'll do, this is 9, 10, 11, 12. I guess we can get rid of some of the middle ones. I don't know. We'll leave it like that for the first month, and then in February, we can always change it. We can adapt. So I will do, this one I want to do it on the actual dots. So I'm going to do it in the middle and go 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. All the way down. Okay, I don't need to write them all out in pencil. And this way I can compare throughout the year, kind of month to month, and look back and see like what's affecting my sleep. What is, you know, like, am I sleeping good? Am I sleeping bad? Am I happy on those days? Am I sad on those days? January goal is to not spend anything except groceries or needed toiletries. Nice, a no spend goal. I love a good no spend month. They are so hard to do sometimes because we don't realize that our spending is tied to our like enjoyment sometimes. Like our dopamine fixations can be on spending money. And that's my problem, is I get caught up in like, oh, I'm a little bit sad, I want to go shopping. Or, oh, I saw this cute thing, it would make me happy. No shopping is a great goal, but I have heard people say, and this has helped me with my no spend, is having like one guilty pleasure or one like craft or hobby that you're allowed to spend money on, because trying to quit something cold turkey is always like a punishment instead of like a goal to achieve. So that's something I've had to learn as well, is making sure that our goals aren't secretly to punish ourselves for something that we don't like about ourselves. That was a big realization for me when I started like budgeting and working on things. I was like, oh my gosh, I am just being mean to myself instead of accepting like how we got into the situation and finding like healthy outlets for that instead of like trying to stop it altogether. But a no spend month is, I see this all the time, and they're so cool when you actually get to the end. You're like, I did it. Heck yeah. I didn't spend any of this extra money, but have like a goal at the end for like how much you want to save and give yourself a reward, because it is really difficult to get through a whole month and not spending, especially as us women, because we go through cycles and we have ups and we have downs, and a month is, we go through so many different emotions, feelings, you know, like my big thing, I don't know if this applies to you, Barb, but I will have days where I'm just like, I don't feel like cooking. I don't want to cook. And then in my no spend months, I'll feel guilty for like ordering Uber Eats, even though that technically kind of counts as groceries, right? But you can go to the thrift store and get craft supplies if needed. About self-control, not self-punishment. Good. That's a good way to look at it. will check back with you at the end of this month. Well, I'll check back with you. So I'll do like weekly updates on my bullet journal, and then we can all share how well we did. I'm debating whether I want to include my work stuff in my bullet journal this year, because sometimes I do, sometimes I have a separate bullet journal just for work, but that kind of becomes overwhelming to track both of them. But I do really like to set up my bullet journal for the week on Monday morning, first thing. Yay! Yes, being part of a like-minded village, especially when you have a little chaos goblin living in your brain, is so helpful, because the little tips and tricks to figure out how to function in this crazy world where your brain doesn't work like most people's is so difficult sometimes. And having people to support and knowing that you're not crazy is literally a lifesaver. I feel you on that. I felt so bad. Bad might be the wrong word. I felt so like, and broken's also the wrong word, but I'm trying to figure out how to describe it. But just the feeling of like not being able to do or use a regular agenda like other people, like that was so annoying to me. And then I finally found bullet journaling, and I was like, oh my gosh, thank God there's something that works. Like, I finally figured it out. I'm not broken. I just needed a different way to do it. And kind of that realization has helped me so much throughout the years of like, okay, I'm not broken. I just need to find a different way to do it. This line needs to go a little bit in the middle of these two. See, I'm already learning for next month what I need to change. Okay. Okay. There we go. Let that dry a little bit. So then we got 9, 10, you started working with a trauma anxiety specialist who helped you get the tools to realize you're just a unique thinker. That's great. Honestly, I love hearing when people have that light bulb moment that it's not something wrong with them. They just think different, and having those moments where you accept yourself and embrace that you just need to do it a different way makes your life so much easier and really gets rid of all of that like self-doubt. Like every problem that we've had basically leading up to this, like, why isn't it working? What's going on? I had problems in school. It made me, really sad that I didn't fit in with my friends and couldn't do things the same way as them, and always had to like have that like feeling of being outside. Once all of that went away, it made my life so much better and happier. And that's, I hope more people can find living a happier lifestyle and finding things that work for them. Okay, I wrote January, so now it's officially for January. Now I need to figure out what to do with this page. This might be my stopping point for the day, and I'm going to brainstorm on this part. But I can show you my recap of last year and how we got to where we are this year. I actually combined my bullet journal for the last 2 years into one because I am notorious for only getting through about halfway before I start a new one. So I was dedicated to get further into my bullet journal, which I did, which is great. So let me show you so this was my book tracker that I was talking about before. This was my date night tracker. And then we had my follower tracker because I was trying to grow on TikTok and YouTube. And then this is what I used to do for my habit tracking weekly. I might go back to this. I did like it. It did work. And then I kind of shifted to this new model, which this has become my main like spread for a while now. I've adopted this like side bullet for each week, and this is kind of how I do things. It's worked pretty well. Yeah, this is the majority of, oh look, this is my 12 days of charity planning, see? Everything's in the bullet journal. Scrap journal on the blank page, I like that. I like that idea. I also, when I get, you know, super ambitious for the month, I will do fun things. Let's see, did I do any? I did a letter to my future self. Oh, that would be fun to read. Interesting. Okay. Yes. That is the start of my 2025 journal. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you follow along, and I will see you in about a week, and we will do our weekly touch bases on our accountability bullet journals. What do we want to call it? Bullet journal accountability? That sounds better. Thank you for being here. Thank you for liking and subscribing, and I will see you all very soon.